Welcome to Hopkinton. Could you tell our millions of HopNews readers why you're here?
Well, it's almost a privilege, certainly an honor for me to be up here and campaign a little bit for Dan Haley, who I think has a great future in Massachusetts politics. I've worked very closely with him, both in the public sector and the private sector, and he's got what it takes.
What do you feel are the important issues that Dan can contribute to?
Well, I think keeping taxes down is a signature issue, always was for me, is for Dan as well. He knows state government like the back of his hand, having worked in the State House a long time. On the other hand, he has deep experience in the private sector, and I like to see that in the legislature.
And how could that experience in the private sector help in the public sector?
Well, if you understand how the business of the state works, you're not going to pass foolish laws that are going to hurt job creation just for openers.
Do you think that we've seen that in the recent past?
There's always a temptation in that direction if you get people without any private sector experience.
And Dan Haley's here next to Governor Weld. What do you think is the most important issue for you in this race?
Well, yeah, Robert, it's the thing I talk about most. If you run any kind of budget in a home or a business, you know that if you spend more money than you take in, you're going to be in trouble. And last year we took in roughly $1 billion more than we expected to take in, and we spent that, and we spent another $1 billion on top of that, landing us, surprise, $1 billion in deficit. Now everybody's running around like chickens with their heads cut off, trying to figure out how to deal with that. It was a wholly avoidable situation and inevitable once they made the spending decisions they made. And so I think with the degree of imbalance we have right now, we don't have anybody standing up and saying just common sense things, like, for instance, if you spend more money than you take in, well, you're going to end up in trouble.
And how are you standing on this big dig petition that the primary opponent is putting forth?
Oh, well, you know, I think it's always a good thing. Anytime somebody draws attention to the inequity of the tolls, the fact that Metro West commuters are funding the Central Artery project, which is a north-south artery, that's a good thing. On the other hand, as I've said, going around circulating a petition in Metro West to roll back tolls is like circulating a petition to find out who likes ice cream. It's not a question in need of proving. What's needed is some political courage to actually deal with the problem.
Now, forgive my not knowing about the genesis of the big dig. Could I ask Governor Weld when that all started?
It started under Governor Dukakis, went back as far as Governor King, I think, and really took off in late Dukakis, and then a lot was done under me and Cellucci. I was early enough so that when I left it was on time and under budget, but that's because we were in such a recession that the contractors would work for, next to nothing.
And why do you think it went over budget?
A lot of that is inflation and just looking at it over a 18-year period instead of a 4-year period. But I'm sure there were cost inflation factors as well. It just was 10 years after I left, so I'm not that familiar with them.
Well, hopefully we'll see both of you at the reception this evening.
Excellent, Robert. Thank you.